Hey everybody, welcome back to the Movie Reviewers 100. My name is Scott, also known as CINERAM. I do the Thursday videos here, and I'm here with my friend Jack, who I've known for almost 30 years. Jack has agreed to help me play the Kevin Bacon game, because our theme this week is Kevin Bacon. If you don't know the rules, basically Kevin Bacon is considered the center of the modern acting universe. He's been in a lot of different movies with a lot of diverse, large casts, and so you can connect any actor or actress with Kevin Bacon in 6 steps or less. So, Jack, hit me with the first name.
Morgan Freeman.
Okay, Morgan Freeman was in Seven with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was in Sleepers with Kevin Bacon.
Wow. Okay.
I cheated, because he gave me that one before. Yeah.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep was in Doubt with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was in Magnolia with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon.
Alright, well that takes care of Tom Cruise.
Good, okay.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was in Top Gun with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, how about Robert De Niro?
Okay, Robert De Niro was in Sleepers with Kevin Bacon.
Oh.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Movie Reviewers 100. My name is Scott, also known as CINERAM here on YouTube. I'm one of many film critics, amateur film critics on YouTube that post videos about movies that we see and what we think of them. And on this collaboration channel, I'm one of 7 guys that each has a particular day of the week that we post on. My day, of course, is Thursday, and I'm wrapping up this week's theme, which is Kevin Bacon. We have a new theme each week, sometimes devoted to an actor or actress, or director, or genre. Whatever the case may be, this week it's Kevin Bacon. If you visit our Facebook page, the link is below. You can comment on this video. It's a good place to comment on videos, or provide us any kind of feedback, or suggest other things that we can do in the future. Kevin Bacon's a really good guy to do because he's got such a diverse filmography. He's quite ubiquitous. That's why we have the game, the Kevin Bacon game, where you can connect any actor to any other actor working in contemporary film in 6 moves or less, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. That video that you saw is a portion of what my friend Jack and I did. And the longer version of the videos on my personal channel, the link is to that is below. So you can see for yourself me goof up on a couple of occasions. As it turns out, Ed Harris did not star with Kevin Bacon in an Oliver Stone film. He, in fact, co-starred with Kevin Bacon in Apollo 13. So there you go. I think I made at least one more mistake there. But for the most part, I'm pretty familiar with his filmography. However, I had never seen the HBO movie he starred in called Taking Chance. He plays Lieutenant Colonel in the U.S. Marine Corps, Michael Strobl, and this is based on a real story. Colonel Strobl was a Marine who became an analyst, basically, working in the United States, not serving overseas. And when he learned that there was a Lance Corporal named Chance Phelps, who had been killed in action, he volunteered to escort the body back to his hometown. Initially thinking that the young man was from his own hometown, but in fact he only signed up in his hometown. He's from Wyoming, so he ends up escorting the remains out there. This is a movie, I should say that Lieutenant Colonel Strobl kept a journal during his trip. And so that journal became the basis for the screenplay, which he co-wrote with the director of the film, whose name is Ross Katz. I wasn't familiar with anything that this director done. As it turns out, this is his only feature film. He is making another one, but it hasn't been released yet. This is a movie that's... the word that I would use to best describe this movie is respectful. This movie is very, very respectful towards people who serve in the armed forces. And the families of people who served in the armed forces and such. And it's very, very dedicated to the procedure, depicting the procedure of escorting the remains of a fallen soldier home to his family and his loved ones. We see a lot of that, basically. There isn't very much conflict in the movie in the way that there is normally conflict, whereby every scene brings up another problem or another disagreement that has to be solved one way or the other. That really doesn't happen so much in this movie. It's a pretty straightforward, it's almost like an instructional film. There's a little bit of character development on the part of Colonel Strobl. But we don't really learn a whole lot about him other than the fact that he's a Marine and he's married with kids and what he does basically for a living. Excuse me. So so what happens is, because he is a senior officer, he gets treated differently from the usual guys who escort a body back home to the family. He's got a bunch of ribbons and medals on his chest, you know, and he wears his uniform, of course, at all times, except, of course, when he's finished, in which point, when he flies back, he's actually in civvies. So yeah, like I said, there's just a lot of detail, a lot of time and detail spent on how this actually occurs, you know, how the body is prepared, how the uniform is prepared that he's to be buried in, how his his personal effects are treated, and everyone is just very, very careful at every step of the process to treat the fallen soldier with dignity. We see a little bit of that in the beginning with them preparing, cleaning the body, making sure that everything is squared away as far as his appearance goes. He apparently suffered a head wound, so it's to be a closed casket. But it's treated basically with great reverence throughout the entire process. When they load the body basically onto the truck from the coroner, Strobl basically stands at attention and salutes. When it's being loaded from the truck onto a plane to fly off to another city, he stands at attention and salutes. When it's being loaded off the plane and into basically a cargo area, because it's flying out to the next location the next day, he stands and salutes, and so on and so on. He treats all the items, he checks the ID on the large box basically that the coffin is in every single step of the way. And I thought it was kind of funny at first, because it looked like all the soldiers that were standing at attention and saluting when the body was first being taken out of the coroner into the van. Sorry about that. On the first leg of the transport, that the shot was in slow motion because they were all saluting in slow motion, but that's actually intentional. Normally a salute, and I learned this from Scent of a Woman, comes up quickly, you know, with the fingers smartly aligned, and then down again. It's not, you know, some sort of casual gesture like that. But when the body is moving, basically when the body is being brought from one mode of transport to the other, it's a slow move up and then down again after the body has passed by. Well, I didn't know that. And there's a lot of other things I didn't know about. But along the way, Strobl basically encounters people who are offering whatever support that they can. The pilots of the planes, other passengers, people like that. He encounters another Marine who is escorting, or another, I'm not sure if he's a Marine, but he's escorting another fallen soldier home, and it turns out it's the deceased man's brother. So finally, when he does arrive in the soldier's hometown, in Chance Phelps' hometown, he presents himself to the families and offers the personal effects and his condolences and what have you, and then stays to attend the funeral. Yeah, there isn't a lot of the usual sort of conflicts that you have in a film, which makes it kind of unusual. There is a bit of disagreement that he has with one of the TSA people at the airport. The guy wants him to put the personal effects through the X-ray machine. He wants him to take off his jacket with all the medals and ribbons on it, put it through the machine. He's like, I'm not doing that. You know, you can wand me. But I would be disrespectful towards the country that I serve by removing my jacket and putting it through an X-ray machine. So take me to a private room and wand me there. Yeah. And pretty much everyone is very, very respectful towards him and treats him very, very well. Yeah, it's just a different kind of film experience. It isn't the usual kind of film experience. Like I said, it's more like an instructional film. We get a little bit of Strobl's, what he's like, but not very much. Mostly he's just there for one purpose alone, and that is to make sure that the remains are safely transported to the soldier's hometown, treated with care, treated with respect, treated with reverence. So yeah, an unusual film. For anyone who's interested in this kind of thing, I would highly recommend it. Some people might find it boring, I'm not really sure. But like I said, it's a different kind of film. And worth checking out, I think, if that's the kind of thing that interests you. It wouldn't be a bad idea, I think. I'm never going to serve in the military myself, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know about it. I certainly don't think I'd be well suited for combat operations in Afghanistan or anything like that. So I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to be a soldier. Never gone through boot camp or everything like that. Never will. I just have seen movies about it, of course. So yeah, that is my review of Taking Chance. Of course, Kevin Bacon's been in a ton of stuff that's that's great and good. I would certainly recommend Stir of Echoes, which EJ reviewed earlier this week. Also, Ray reviewed Hollow Man, which is the Paul Verhoeven film in which he played the scientist who renders himself invisible and then goes crazy. He's a versatile guy, Kevin Bacon. He can do a lot of different kind of parts. There's a lot of his work to see. And Flatliners. Flatliners is another movie that is a long-time favorite of mine, a Schumacher film from 1990 that I enjoyed quite a lot when it came out. Good ensemble cast in that. A lot of Kevin Bacon's movies actually are ensemble films. JFK, of course, Apollo 13, that game, that Kevin Bacon game is a lot of fun for somebody like me. Sometimes it's fun to play with other actors as well, just for kicks, but yeah, Kevin Bacon is definitely a good guy to do that with. If I didn't mention earlier, and I think I did, but if I didn't, the little snippet that you saw at the beginning of this clip, the full version of that video is in the description below. It's on my personal channel. What else? What else? I'm sorry, this is like the 5th time I've tried to make this video because I keep forgetting to say stuff. Yes, Michael Strobl wrote it. Yes, he's a retired Marine officer. And Chance Phelps, right. Just want to make sure I got all those names right because it is a real story. It isn't like Kevin Bacon's character. He's playing a real guy who helped make the movie. So that was good. Yeah, I think I'm done here. Okay, good. Thanks very much for watching. We will have a new theme starting tomorrow. Hope you'll tune in for that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Again, please visit our Facebook page to suggest new themes or comment, whatever you like. Take it easy.